Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where in the world you are and what time of day it is. Today I found a little gem of a town. Welcome to the town of Terwoie, South Australia. We'll start our journey at the historic and heritage listed railway station, where, later in the vlog, you'll hear about the surprise visit to Terwoie by General Douglas McArthur in March of 1942. We'll start our journey at the historic and heritage listed railway station. In Australia, there were 3 different gauges of rail track used throughout the country. These were narrow gauge, standard gauge and wide gauge. The problem caused by the different gauges created a massive logistical challenge, especially during World War II. Terwoie found itself in the middle of this, where the broad gauge line from Adelaide, the capital city of South Australia, met the narrow gauge line from Peterborough, which opened in 1881. All passengers and cargo had to be transferred from narrow gauge trains to broad gauge carriages and vice versa at Terwoie railway station. At its peak, Terwoie had over 3 kilometres of railway tracks in its yards, where men worked in workshops, engine sheds and the shipping yards. The town's population at its peak reached 2,000. The difference in railway gauges was still a problem right up until 1995. Finally, following the conversion of the Adelaide to Melbourne line to standard gauge, the Indian Pacific made a promotional trip from Perth to Brisbane via Melbourne over 6 days in June of that year. So from here on, we're going to go on to the live audio from the Gimbal Walk around Terwoie, and I'll try not to interrupt with too many voiceovers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there was, have a look in the distance over there. You can actually see that there were tennis courts. Probably would have had a bowling green at one time as well, for a population of 2,000, which dwindled to about 150 after the line closed. So, oh wow, look at these houses. Terwoie. That looks like it would have been the hotel. Yeah. Beautiful building, colonial style. There you go. CFS, Country Fire Service, Terwoie, established in 1956. Volunteers professionally protecting our communities for life. So what I'm going to do is It's a beautiful building. Terwoie Institute. (1879). The car's not from 1879. We've got toilets. Don't like leaving my van, but it seems a pretty safe place. Especially when there's other campers around, because they keep an eye on it. Oh wow. 1861. E.W. Holder and F. Pascoe. North Eastern Times. Terwoie News. Blacksmith, wheelwright, machinist, Terwoie Enterprise. This is just the main street. Look how well it's been preserved. Let's go and have a look across there. You can't see much because of the reflection. Yeah, can't see anything because of the reflection. But, yeah. I like the sign. Friends always welcome, relatives strictly appointment only. Look at it. See if I can get it all in. Bushels, more cups, finer flavour. It's obviously been renovated or repainted. The whole building's been worked on. You can see by the mortar. So, yeah. And this would have been the post office. As you can see, there's post boxes. I think it's probably the post boxes are probably still being used. Look at that. Fantastic. I had the post box for years. Don't need a post box where I live because it's such a small town. We don't get mail delivered to the house. We just get the local store. Let's see some. Right, there you go. Mary's Corner Store and Terwoie Post Office. Now open. You can camera this one.
I was about to say it's an interesting one.
As you walk around in your bob, this takes the bob out of it. So
Oh, okay.
you have a look at that.
Oh, that's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. It's a lovely little store.
thank you.
The post office and general store are heritage listed and run by the charming Leanne. It's nice to find such a store still in operation in today's society. I bought a delicious hot pie from there and it was absolutely scrumptious. Now that's a post office. Right, the post office.
Yeah, so the original post office was actually across the road there, the one that's facing the railway. So the post boxes, they're original, so they came from over there. And yeah, it moved over here in about 1995.
Okay, and this post office, you don't have home deliveries here?
No. So everyone comes in here to collect their mail, and and mail gets delivered every day here. So so they come in here.
And how many people live in the town now?
We're probably around about maybe the 110, give or take a few. I know the sign says 150, but that's a little bit out of date. So
yeah, the town where I live is about 100. So
yes.
What was your name?
Leanne.
Leanne. Thank you, Leanne.
That's
I'll tell
okay.
everyone to come and pay you a visit.
No, thank you.
Right. So there you go. That's the town. That's a post office and general store. So about 100, 110 in the town. So that's great. And the hue and grey Terwoie Arid Lands Botanic Garden, a community project. Huh. This is a really nice historic town. And I only found it by accident. I'm walking straight down the middle of the main road. No traffic at all. Garage, which sounds like it's still open because I can hear a compressor running. Crash repair. And on the right, it's a hotel. Lubritorium workshop. Lubritorium, that was an old name for a garage. Wow, look at it. Pioneer Gallery. Hardware store. Garage sale, Main Street, Terwoie. Call in and make an offer. Yeah. Oh, that's a big telescope you can't see because of me. Looks like a wrecker's yard here. And if you need any spare parts in an emergency, you can often use spare parts from a different model, make, just to get you through to a main shopping area where you can order the parts. There's like a motorhome over there. Huh. We can hear the flies. They'll be getting forced now. Now this building here will give you a better idea of what the condition of the houses would be like. The corner's falling away, look. Needs some underpinning. So in a small town like this, you just ask anyone who runs the car yard, the wrecker's yard, and they'll come up with a name or a number. And look at this. We've got some sheep in the yard as well. Not too friendly. So that was a tour of the town. Those cars are so old now. They're worth a lot of money. Look at that. There is some money in those cars, I'll tell you. I remember driving one of these. Ah dear, shows my age. So we're now going to head off back to the railway station, and I'll speak to you about General Douglas MacArthur. This memorial commemorates General Douglas MacArthur's historic message to the Australian people on his arrival in Terwoie on March the 20th, 1942. Douglas MacArthur arrived at Terwoie railway station, and much to MacArthur's surprise, his secret arrival in Terwoie was not so secret. A huge cheer went up from the locals who had gathered when he left the train. General MacArthur saluted the people of Terwoie and some passengers on the nearby train. MacArthur was dressed in casual clothes and wore no decorations or insignia except for a laurel wreath peak on his cap. On being asked if he would reach the United States, he said, "The President of the United States ordered me to break through Japanese lines and proceed to Australia for the purpose, as I understand it, of organising an American offensive against Japan, the primary purpose of which is the relief of the Philippines. I came out of Bataan, and I shall return." Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you can hit that like button, it really helps. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll find out when my next video will be, which should be every week. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.